Previously on Survivor. Following Nora's blindside, Kaidi worked to secure Kevin's loyalty moving into the future. At the challenge, a tribe swap switched things up with the new Shindana consisting of Josh, David, Taylor, Greg, Rachel, Hannah, and Mel coming away with the immunity win over the new Kaidi consisting of Autumn, Juliana, Ben, Jenna, Kevin, Jamie, and Luke, with Luke finding an idol clue at the challenge. On New Shindana, Hannah and Mel were not feeling confident about their place in the new tribe, while the old Shindana and Kaidi members came together to plot their eliminations. On New Kaidi, the former Teratibu's erratic behavior at the challenge led to Jamie and Luke being on the chopping block. Old friends Autumn and Jenna reconnected and combined their former tribes together to devise a split vote on Jamie and Luke, with the new five finding Luke's threat level more reliability in the game than Jamie's erratic behavior. Their fears proved to be true as Luke managed to find the hidden immunity idol before Tribal Council. With Tribal approaching, Luke and Jamie approached the Shindana girls to push the vote onto Jenna as she had neglected to talk to multiple members of the small tribe. However, Juliana and Autumn held strong to their plan and Luke failed to play his hidden immunity idol, resulting in his elimination in a 3-2-2 vote. 13 are left. Who will be voted out tonight?
So, Luke went home. Shout out to you, Vinny. I did that for you.
I look a little crazy because I just came from a litter cleanup, so
I noticed.
I'm very muddy. But we picked up a lot of trash today, so I'm glad we took out the trash today, and now it was a good vote.
I was scared shitless, obviously. You never want to see your name on a vote, but it means I can rely on my alliances right now. And everyone was trying to reassure me, like, you're not going home, so it means I can trust them for now.
I'm sorry, Luke. I wish I could work with you longer, but you are definitely a big threat. You are a careful player, a more calculated player than Jamie was, so you were a threat that needed to go home. I'm sorry I had to backstab you, but, you know, that's just the way the game goes.
I just felt really good about Juliana and Autumn, and I felt like they were telling us the truth. The whole week we were communicating a lot.
Yeah. I'm surprised people wanted to vote Luke out. I didn't really think that was going to happen. I've said in confessionals that I didn't really want to work with the original Teratibu anyway, so I don't really care. It'd be great to have him around just because, like, I know him or whatever, but I didn't really, like, want to work with him too much in the future anyway. And I mean, I told them that I met with Ben and Juliana, and I was like, I mean, Luke's fine, but it's not like I really trust him or anything like that.
Basically, I told her that I wanted to work with her, and then I said that Juliana and I had, like, full intention of working with her and Luke, like, when I had talked to them, and then I met with Luke, and I was like, yeah, I was still on board with voting out a Kaidi, which was never true, but, like, I just wanted to make her feel good.
Ben made the point of, like, you guys have been together for 2 votes, not like you're really close, and it might just be smarter to vote out like one of you two.
And she, you know, I think she wanted to clear her conscience or something, I don't know. But she kind of like told me how the vote went, like blah blah blah, and then she said, her and Juliana realized that, like, you know, maybe they should have gotten a original Kaidi out first, just numbers wise.
So
So then I kind of like blamed it all on Ben because I was like, well, then I met Ben after that, and he's the one who really pushed for it to be like Luke and like all that stuff.
I guess like Ben or something decided that me and Luke were really close and was gonna tell them to vote one of us out, so I don't know. Or I don't really like Ben.
Because we don't want Jamie to feel like she's isolated or not, that she can't trust us, especially with whatever decisions we need to make in the future. We want to kind of be in a good place with people. So I'm grateful that Autumn did that, and also not me, because I'm not very good at lying and I wouldn't have wanted to do that.
I felt like the last vote I was kind of like strung along for the vote with Kevin and Ben, and I haven't really been able to make like my own decisions and make my own alliances. So I don't know, would you be willing to work together from now on?
I have to pick someone to work with at this point, right?
Right.
So
his last two Tivo, so
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Do you want to work together going forward? She was like, yeah, we can do that.
That's such a typical Jamie response. Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yep.
I don't know. Maybe.
Basically, I was playing dumb. I told Jamie that my votes had been decided for me. I was being strung along and I needed an alliance because apparently Jamie thought I had no alliance going forward, or any alliance really, which is kind of funny. Yeah, that conversation, I got nothing out of her. She's just very dry and never says anything, but she's like, yeah, I'd be willing to work with you. And I was like, anything else? And she gave me nothing.
And then she pretty much told me the same thing. She wants to work with me, and then she also mentioned Autumn's name. So I don't know if that was rehearsed because they both pretty much told me the same thing, but it is what it is.
Luke is gone. That's cool. That's really cool. I mean, I feel like, I think it's probably Jamie's doing, but I don't think I can trust Jamie at all. It's funny if Robbie was here. Luke would be around, but neither here nor there.
I feel like I'm not sitting very well right now, just like because obviously Luke's gone. Like, Tier 2 has 3. First off, 4 numbers, and second off, like, you're weakening yourself in the long run when it comes to, like, now you're facing a tribe that's 5-5 versus, like, 5-4-3 or 5.
No, I definitely, I feel that too. I know, like, I'm probably gonna stay with David and Taylor because I know them and I work with them from the very beginning.
Right, yeah.
So I think for us, it's just like, you know, get to know everyone, talk to them, see how they, you know, feel at this point in the game.
I literally feel like I don't know anything. I only have Hannah. I only have Hannah and myself that I trust.
As of right now, we want to work with Purple. As of the day before Challenge 5. But, so if we lose tomorrow and you and I work with Rachel and Greg to get out a member of the blue team, then it's 2-2-2 on Shindata, and then like the world is open. We can do whatever we want.
And I think that obviously then we'll have the leverage of saying, hey,
blue team,
purple team,
purple team.
We worked with you before.
Why not work with us now?
We followed through.
If you had told me on day 1 that Mel and I would be my strongest alliance right now, I would be like, what are you talking about? That's not right. For right now, I kind of like need that security almost, because at least knowing there's one other person who you can trust is really valuable, especially right now in the position that we're in. I also think that Mel and I are in more precarious situation, I think, just because we have like the least numbers by far. So if the overall game strategy is that we want to knock out Tier 2 and then just take fucking Kaidi and Shindata to the merge and then deal with that, like I could definitely see that happening because it just like simplifies the game.
Yeah,
but
it's an easy thing to do.
Right.
I don't know if it's really in everybody's best interest to just go Kaidi or old Kaidi and old Shindana.
Yeah.
Because
I agree with that.
when we get down to 10 people at that point, it's 5-on-5, and where do you go from there? We
need to get a member of Shindana out, of old Shindana out, because they have a staggering advantage right now, and this is like our only moment to get them out. Hopefully Greg is telling me the truth, and hopefully Greg will relay that to Rachel.
she is very strategic and is constantly thinking and very smart, but she is just so she's just so little that she looks so innocent and nice. And she is really nice, but I think she's more of a schemer than people think. And so if we were to lose tomorrow, and it was my choice as to who to vote out, I would rather take out Hannah.
Hello. Welcome back. Hope you guys had a fun weekend. Good to be back on this pretty early Tuesday night in comparison to when we've had challenges before, so I hope you guys are excited for this next challenge. So, first things first, Shindana, getting a look at the new Coyote tribe. Luke voted out at the last tribal council. So with that, Mel, Jamie, and Hannah could not be here tonight. The final 3 targetees were remaining in final 13. So, tonight, we have another tribe challenge. It will be taking place in a room not too far from here. And this challenge is in 2 parts. First part, you will assign 3 people from your tribe, each of whom will be attached to a string. And the goal in the first part of this challenge is to untangle yourselves from a mess of your strings together. Once you get all 3 of you untangled completely from that tangle of strings, you guys will each retrieve a tennis ball and then use that tennis ball to shoot into a bucket in the front of the room where someone will try to catch it in a bucket. Once you catch all 3 of those, the next part of the challenge starts, in which the remaining 3 people will climb over and under a series of desks from the front of the room to the back of the room and retrieve a set of puzzle pieces. They'll return over under, the next person will go. Once you retrieve all 6 sets of puzzle pieces between the 3 other people, the rest of the tribe all together will solve a 6x6 Sudoku puzzle. That puzzle does not have numbers in it. They are colors, but it's all the same. Just 6 very distinct colors that you will assemble so that in each 3x2 rectangle, there are 6 different colors, and no colors repeat themselves in each row of column. First team to complete all of those stages will win. So, with that, I'll give you guys a couple minutes to strategize and we'll get started, right? All right, guys, once again, final 13, immunity is back up for grabs. Tribes ready? Go! You're on team, you're not tired. Over under each other. Everyone's not to the exact same. Awesome, great, good.
Now you're over.
We'll try to network it all together. Goals is straight down, all the way before you move on to test balls. Great, Rebecca. I get close.
Jimmy.
Ben, Josh and Rachel working very well together. Ben doing very well. Autumn and Jamie. This guys. Heidi, nearing the end of theirs. When you're done, send the rope as far as you can go. Show me it's done. Then you get your tennis balls. Donna, just fall clear the line.
You got this, guys. Finish strong.
I go over. Heidi, just a couple left.
Go Sandy.
Ben is all the way out. Autumn and Jamie. Alright, get back. You're all the way out. We're spinning back. Go, Titan, go. Get your tennis balls. You're behind the table, buddy. No, you're right here. Stay there. You're catching. They're throwing to the table. Good. Go. Two. That's three. Go. Juliana's going over and under first. Retrieving up first. Let's go, Juliana. Juliana falling behind.
Oh, it's so dirty.
Now, Josh. Let's go, Juliana. Fighting with a big lead in this challenge. Yep. Now, your ropes. Alright, there we go. Juliana's got theirs. Go. Keep it on the balls. Good. Juliana's got one. Jenna's going for the second set. Rachel's got it. Go. Wait. Alright, all three go. Taylor's going over under. Now, Jenna. Both tribes working on the over under. Three. Jenna's got the second set. Taylor almost there for first. There we go. Just watch out for the jack. Taylor almost back in the first set of pieces. Taylor's got the first set. David's going to the second. Kevin's got it. Kevin's going now. David going to the second set. Kevin going to the third. Naeem going to the lead. David back very quickly to the second set. Kevin's got the third set. Bella's going to the third set for Shiana. Naeem coming back to the third. Shiana made a little bit of ground. Juliana goes back to the fourth. Juliana almost back to their third. Grady goes back to their fourth. Let's go, Juliana. There you go, Juliana. Come on, Juliana. Juliana's ripping this part of the challenge apart. Juliana back. Almost back to the fourth. Now back on third. Juliana. One set. Jenny going again. Jenny going back to the fifth set. 6 sets total. Let's go, Jenna. Donna sending David again. David going for the third time. Jenna has a fifth set. David trying to make this stop. Jenna back. Jenna's going to the last set. David's made a lot of ground. No.
Yeah, David, all done. Yeah.
Once you've got all 6, you can uncover your puzzle. Six is an open puzzle. Shindana goes live. Taylor going back to the last set. Juliana has the last set. Juliana has gone 3 times. This is for Kaidi. She's got it. We're going to puzzle, put it on the table first. Go! Solving a 6x6 Sudoku puzzle. And we can do it. Taylor, ready for the 6th one. Go! Go! The colors represent numbers. No repeating colors per column or per row. When you got it, call me over.
Oh, wait, no. This one has 2 yellows.
Yeah.
No, it's good. Still good. Okay, yeah, that's fine. No, that's fine.
Oh,
fuck yeah. So this has to be yellow. This one is
okay, so this is yellow.
This one's green.
Wait, so what has to go last?
This is white or yellow.
So, wait, but yellow here, I think these is
so, and then this white would have to go.
Blue cannot go here, so it has to go here. So white has to go here. Okay, you want to go here? Let's go.
Hey!
Round.
I don't know that I believe she was on so fast.
Kaidi with me!
Oh my God. So happy.
All right, so fun challenge, close challenge. Coyote coming up on top. Congratulations for winning the meeting. Don't have an item to give you tonight, but you have the spirit. So Coyote will not be going to tribal council this week. Shindana, you guys will be going to tribal council. One of you will become the 6th person voted out of this game. So you guys have a couple days to figure out who that's going to be, and I'll see you at tribal council. All right? So have a good week.
When they said that we were gonna do, I call it Sudoku, but it's Sudoku, but like, whatever. So when they said that they were gonna do that, like, I knew we were gonna win because I freaking love those puzzles so much.
I think I just wanted it so badly. I was just like, I will just throw my body. Like, my knees are already starting to bruise, but I literally don't care. It's winter time, no one's gonna see my legs.
We want Shindana and old Coyote to work together to get rid of the Teratibu. So that's like my plan going into the week. Either Hannah or Mel hopefully goes home. Greg told me that Hannah was kind of like more of a thinker because of like something she did that was like interesting. She like videoed like their confessional and was like, oh, I can see when people like lie to me and stuff. So that was kind of interesting. So maybe like that put the target on her back for this week.
Seeing that Luke was the one who got voted out, I'm kind of hopeful that our tribe is more strategic about their vote. I don't think picking up Teratibu is like really that helpful right now in the game. Like, it's not going to strengthen either tribe. I mean, it's definitely an easy vote. Like, that'll be a waste of time.
I feel like me and Rachel are right in the middle between Teratibu people and Shindana people. We already have a 5-person alliance set up with the Shindana people. And like, if we feel like we need to flip, obviously we can.
But no, I'm kind of worried about Shindana getting too powerful because they're all really chill and they're not going to flip on each other.
Right.
So this could like be your only shot to get one out.
I guess my thought with that is like, you don't want to go into the merge with so many people from one tribe because the other tribes are just going to team up and target you. And yeah, I have like Greg and Jenna, but like, I don't know, I just don't want to be in that position where it's not going to be like somewhat even.
So I was kind of thinking about it, and I kind of started to sway more towards working with Hannah and Mel to take out a Shindana person, given that Rachel would be on board with it. And when I was waiting there for Autumn, Rachel texted me and said that Mel had reached out to her, and then Hannah reached out to me. So we kind of started to think about it more, and we were pretty much just like, yeah, let's like do these meetings tomorrow, and then we'll kind of meet back up and see what we're thinking.
Right now, we got what's important. Yeah. So.
Oh, a huge shake.
The unanimous decision is going to be Hannah, which I agree with. I want her gone because she's, you know, really sketchy. She hasn't reached out to any of the original Shindana people. She's only reached out to Greg. She's only reached out to Rachel. So, I mean, make it a little bit more obvious, please. I think our best bet would be to split our votes. You know, 3 people vote for her, that way she doesn't have an idol, she's going home, and 2 people vote for Mel. I feel like we're on the same page, but also I can't get too comfortable with those 2 just because even though I think that they're, you know, with Taylor, David, and I, you know, you can never be too sure, and they're kind of, because of the way that they've been approached, they're kind of playing in the middle right now.
That was Josh's plan. He seems pretty content with the fact that we're working with them. And he said that they didn't reach out to Teratibu, which I believe him.
The Teratibu mindset was very, we got to get through this week, you've got to get through tribal, we got to get through this and this and this. And so we were just trying to survive, but now if we make it through this vote, I feel like we'll be in a good position where we can really be concerned about end game and long term. And I do think that Greg and Rachel are people who are intending to be end game and intending to be long term.
The way I see it, the 3 Shindana people are all really, really tight.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to flip on each other. I really don't expect that to happen. And then if they're as close with each other as they are with Juliana and Autumn, that's 5 people that are never going to flip on each other until they have to.
Right.
If we go, me and Rachel, you and Mel, and take out one of the Shindanas, it's a lot riskier now, but I think it pays off a lot more in the long term.
I think that he is very of the mindset that what matters now is the alliances we make now, not our alliances previously. So if we can become that alliance, then that's great, because I think that's a really strong alliance.
We both agreed that the 5 seemed really strong, and then the 3 seemed really strong, like tight, you know? And so she was really pitching hard, like her and Mel and me and you work together and take out somebody on that side. And I mean, I was like all for it. So at a merge, we could potentially have Hannah, Mel, me, Rachel, Jenna, Ben, hesitantly Kevin. That's, I don't know, that's a word. Kevin maybe, Jamie maybe, and then Autumn I've got on my side, but secretively. So it definitely gives us more options, because I think Hannah and Mel are more willing to work with us long term than Josh, David, Taylor, because that group I don't think is going to break up.
So then I met with Mel, and she's a little crazy. I mean,
yeah, for sure. Like I still can't believe I'm like, okay, like at least it's not my name. Like at least I'm not hearing it. So like my conversation skills was probably like at a D, C+ level. It was a long day, and trying to keep my story consistent, meeting with Rachel, like I feel like I looked crazy. Like I seemed spacey. So I'm a little bit nervous that they don't trust me. Plus, you guys aren't, yeah. So then it like would at least like, hopefully your people on the other side can like stabilize them. So then it would be like,
stabilize
like
Shindana?
Yeah, just because like, or like, I mean, like it would be, the 3 of them could vote out more of them. You know what I mean? Like if I work with you,
our three Shindana.
Shindana can vote out more of Kaidi, whatever. When you don't have a team, old Kaidi, whatever.
And she was like, well, you got 3 and 2 and 2, so if you join them, then 2. And I just let her go for a little bit, but she was not very articulate, and if I hadn't already thought all of this through, it would definitely make no sense.
Oh yeah.
I think from both of our perspectives, it's in our best interest to work together. From me and Greg's perspective, if we voted one of you out, then we'd be screwed for the next vote with the 3 Shindana, because there would be 3 Shindana, 1 of you, and 2 of us. So why would you come with us if we just voted you out? You should join them and then have it be 4 against 2, and then we would be screwed.
So I tried to explain that. She was still kind of uneasy. She said she's very untrusting. She even said that when I told her I was studying, she was skeptical that maybe I was meeting with other people and that the 5 of us were meeting with Shindana. And I was like, oh my god, girl, like I had 2 exams. I should have taken a photo for proof. Like I was up all night studying. And she's like, yeah, I guess I just like do that. Like, it's hard to trust her because it's hard to trust somebody who doesn't trust you.
Right.
But she has no other choice. Like, unless she wants to flip on Hannah, like she's gotta be with us. This is what we would tell Shindana. Let's have all of the guys vote for Hannah. Josh, Greg, and David. That's 2 Shindana and 1 Kaidi. And the girls vote for Mel. Me from Kaidi, and Taylor from Shindana. In Shindana's eyes, it works the same. It's 3-2, whatever. But if in reality what happens is Greg, who is in the 3 right now, moves over to the Teratibu. So that would have Josh and David voting for Hannah, me and Taylor voting for Mel, and Mel, Hannah, and Greg voting for Josh. So the core 4 knows that we're tight. Teratibu can trust me and Greg, and Shindana trusts me. So then, whatever happens next, Shindana can come to me thinking that I'm desperate now that I don't have Greg and I need Shindana, and Teratibu can come to me or Greg, and we'll be all-knowing.
Coming in to this next tribal, I don't think we could be in a better spot. I don't know. Everything is going pretty much perfectly.
What we've been planning on was to have me, Taylor, and Josh
team up with Greg and Rachel and vote out either Mel or Hannah. And that seemed good at first. Like I don't know, I was fine with that, but then I started thinking about it more, and it just started feeling weird that they would agree to that.
So long story short, he wanted to work with Hannah and Mel and vote out probably Greg. But after talking to him, I told him that I really didn't really want to do that. And then I suggested the idea of like, because I know him and Mel have been talking and we're close, so I said, why don't we just bring Mel into our group of 3 and then have her vote with us and tell her we keep her safe. And then that way we can still work with Greg and Rachel and have the numbers there, and then vote Hannah out, which I'm totally fine with because I don't really trust her. If we like keep our 5, and then just, if we still bring in Mel, then we'll have 4. So even if like the 3 of them like team up, then we'll still have the majority. And then we can still work with Greg and Rachel, and, like have their trust. And then we can just get rid of Hannah because I feel like she's the most sketchy of anyone right now anyway.
The old Coyote members, Rachel and Greg, they have been talking to old Shindana saying that they want to get out all of the Teratibu people. And with them saying that, it just didn't strike me as something that would even be smart for them to do. So I don't know, I don't really trust them. Like what I'm proposing is that that the 3 old Shindana, me, Josh, and Taylor, get like kind of make an alliance here on New Shindana with you.
So like, I think that my whole week, or like so far, like my planning has been like to survive, like whatever to do, like get on to the next vote. But I feel like that's something that like could be a long-term like move.
If you join us in this vote with Hannah, basically, then we'll have a majority of 4 on this alliance, and then we can take you. Basically, I was like, here, free pass to the merge, right? We can pick you up, come along, and then we'll join up with the old Shindana, right? We'll have 6 people.
He like pitched the idea of me working with them, which was like, or without Hannah, to vote off Hannah. And it like kind of surprised me because it felt like he was genuine in the idea of like me actually just like joining old Shindana. If like what he said was real, like I think that it's really intriguing. So I took his word for it, and I like kind of like I left that door open. I feel like we're the kings, and like all the peasants, they could overthrow us, and they should, because we're in power, we can do whatever we want, but they're not. They're fighting each other, and I just don't know why they're doing that. But life as a king, pretty good.
I think knocking out a majority is probably the best.
Okay,
like
I just
how
want
do
to make
you
sure.
feel? Sorry, there you go.
I just want to make sure that we weren't gonna like screw you over if we vote out a Shindana. Yeah, do you know who
Autumn?
like is head honcho on our side?
Well, Autumn mentioned to me that she doesn't particularly like David.
Okay.
And I don't really know like why. She said like she said that she felt like he was a good player all around.
Josh, I think, is really smart and thoughtful about his decisions.
Okay.
He's the one that said that we should do a 3-2 split.
Okay.
He just like really thinks things through. I feel like he's good at everything, you know, like he's athletic, he's good looking, he dances with old people. He like
It's gonna be on YouTube.
I don't care. He's good at everything. He's easy to get along with. He's very intelligent. So like he's a threat.
Three original Coyotes, still talking, still working together.
Yes.
Not going to tribal, but we had
Gotta
to
get a game plan going.
Yeah, since the challenge is immediately following next tribal, we had to decide what we were going to do.
I feel really confident in those two moving forward. I think I can trust them, and I think they can trust me. And I think that we have a lot of potential to go far in the game together. So yeah, I'm really glad. Really glad it worked out that way.
Oh, we discussed.
Plan A is to win.
Plan B is to split votes between Jamie and either Autumn or Juliana. Probably Juliana. And I trust Autumn more than Juliana. Simply for the fact that Autumn has like reached out to us more. She's talked to us more.
We do have the upper hand because we have bartering power, because we have 3 people strong, and Shindana and Taratibu especially does not have that. So if we really have to, I guess we could play that card and see how far we can push Autumn, or if we can't push Autumn, then push Juliana.
And then now Jenna has met with her individually and talked to her, so I think it would be convincing if we came to her and said, hey, I know you're in a tough spot right now, but we're willing to vote Kevin. So there's 1 vote for Kevin from Jamie, and then 2 split for Juliana, and then 3 for Jamie.
I'm just gonna have to figure out what I want to do and what I think will be best for me. Regardless, I want to keep Jenna in on my situation because I do really like Jenna, and I feel like we've developed like a pretty good relationship, and I feel like we have a pretty strong alliance.
And you know, because we didn't have to worry about tribal this weekend, you'd think that people would take a break from this game and not worry about alliances and the next move. But crazy people like Ben decide to schedule meetings and, I don't know, keep planning and just being annoying.
I will say at this point in time, if I tell anyone about my idol, I do think it will be Jenna. Do I think that Jenna would tell anyone else if I tell her? I don't know.
Like, obviously I'm just playing dumb. Like, I don't want to work with him. We're going to have a split vote with Jamie having 3 votes, so there's 4, and then the other 2 are going to come from, are going to target either Autumn, or Juliana. If we're definitely solid in like getting Ben out next time and like Jamie is, then we have at least half, and then we just have Juliana.
Yeah.
Or
and I think
even
Juliana would definitely.
And when I was telling Autumn about this today, I was making it seem like Ben was not really set on who he wanted to have the 2 votes for, like Juliana versus Autumn. So that would just make Autumn feel like a little more like weary about Ben.
Apparently Ben's like plotting against me, but like what's new? He's gotta go, so whatever. When I talk to Ben, hopefully I'm gonna like get close with him, and then he's just gonna like say, oh yeah, let's not vote for Autumn. So that's my plan.
Hopefully if Ben goes through with his plan, then he's gonna say like Jamie put a vote on Kevin. So like even if she does vote with them, she'll be voting for the wrong person, so then it would be a 3-2-1.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think about that. We should just let him do his little plan.
We should, honestly.
I'm okay with keeping it quiet and just blindsiding the shit out of everyone, because Ben is driving me nuts. I have other things to worry about, and I just really don't care at this point.
Seems like this vote is going to be a little more complicated than I initially thought.
Pretty much it's looking like Rachel and I are the swings.
Mel, after I talked to her yesterday, Mel went and told Rachel about everything I said, basically. So I'm just kind of pissed.
But I guess basically the way we're coming down is Hannah is the first priority. And we want to split this vote, right?
Yeah, just in case one of the 2 has an idol.
So we just want to do like 3 guys on Anna and then the 2 girls on Melvin.
Yeah.
So it seems like Mel doesn't want to work with us, which basically means that we have to completely rely on Greg and Rachel. And like, I want to believe so bad, but I don't.
So things are not looking good, possibly for me. So I wanted to tell you some info in case I get voted out. So, like the group of 5 of us. Okay. Being Greg, Josh, David, and then me and Rachel. Mm-hmm. But then Rachel and Greg met with Mel and Hannah, and they said that they wanted to vote me out because I am like the middleman of all of our alliances of Shindana. Literally, neither Hannah nor Mel has reached out to talk to me, and they've reached out to literally everyone else on the tribe. And I don't think that people have reached out to them. They've reached out to other people. So I don't know if I'm the intended vote this week. It makes me kind of nervous just because, like I said, I'm literally the only one they haven't talked to. It makes sense number-wise for Greg and Rachel to go with them. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't really know. So I might not be making it to next week.
Taylor was telling me that she was like really nervous, and for some reason I didn't just like make Taylor feel comfortable like Greg wanted me to. I was like, yeah, like I don't know if you should really trust that, blah blah blah. I don't know what my reasoning was for that. Looking back, I'm gonna say it was because I wanted Taylor to trust me more, so when this vote does go like hella wrong for her, she's gonna be like, you know, Autumn was right, like maybe I should trust her more. Maybe, I don't know.
But I'm starting to worry a little bit about Greg and Rachel. I want to believe they're telling us the truth, but that means really nothing in this game. It's interesting how this is playing out, because when we first got our tribes, I didn't understand why some people were on, like, you know, the tribes are split between outwit, outlast, outplay. If you have the outwit strategic people who are, you know, making flowcharts of how they want the game to go, and, you know, trying to overthink every single little step. And then you have the social people being Greg and Rachel. They're playing in the middle, and they're, you know, they could swing either way, and they seem perfectly fine for this vote because they're in the middle of both, you know, the original Shindana and the original Teratibu. And then you have the original Shindana, the athletic tribe, who is just hoping to get to the next challenge and get through that. So, I don't, like, now I can see why they were split that way, and it's starting to freak me out a little bit.
I feel like it's important to try to have, like, the most amount of tribe diversity in a merge.
Especially for you guys.
Yeah, especially for us, but just, like, if it so happens that it's, like, what is it, like 5-on-5?
Yeah.
At the merge, like, that's not...
So clearly we want to get rid of Shindana too.
Right.
And she's very articulate and knows what she wants and makes sense and smart, which was kind of the opposite of what I got from Mel, who was a little bit more scattered in her thought processes. Yeah.
And plus, like, going into, like, this vote, working together, like, we'll feel solid. Then if we go to another vote, which hopefully not.
Right, yeah.
Let's win. But then we have the four of us who can work together again.
Exactly. Coming back, I didn't come back because I thought I was going to win. I just came back because I enjoy the game and I enjoy this organization. And if me and Rachel are able to successfully pull off this flip, it'll be the first really big shakeup I've had in my 2 seasons. It's something I could have done with Kelly last year, and pretty much since the season ended, I regretted not doing it. So, I mean, this might be a bad decision, but at least I can look back if I do get voted out and say that all this time that I have put into this game for a second semester was worth it because I took a chance and it just didn't work out. And I feel like I can have some pride in that, even if I don't make it as far as I hope. Taylor is probably the least threatening, but also probably the safest vote in terms of just like, we can get rid of her because nothing's going to happen. David is probably the biggest overall threat, but then Josh is probably the biggest like challenge threat, most public like figure out of those 3. Hannah was freaking out that she is getting the supposed 3 votes from our 5, which she's not. She's getting 2 votes from Josh and David, so it doesn't matter. But she was freaking out, and I made her this chart, actually. Here, hold on. I'll pull it out for you. It's genius. This is a genius plan.
We thought that we would do 4, but then we became worried about an idol. Sorry, Greg.
Nope.
And so then we came up with, I'm like breaking out, I'm so stressed out with this conversation. So we came up with some other options, which would be that, so David and Josh would vote for me, obviously, and then Taylor would vote for Mel as per like their vote splitting plan. And so then Greg and Rachel would vote for Josh, and me and Mel would vote for David. So that we would go to a 3-way tie vote.
After that conversation, just like thinking about the possibility of idols, it stressed me out so much. And like their like vote splitting schemes, oh my god, it wrecked me. Like, oh, I think I really like expressed that way too much, and I like showed how stressed I was, and I think that makes me very vulnerable because it shows that I'm like not willing to take risks.
Now Hannah's freaking out because if we do that plan and Taylor flips onto Hannah, then she goes home. Taylor has no motivation to flip. Like, if they're gonna vote out Hannah, then they're gonna vote out Hannah, or they're gonna try to, but the whole reason for voting out Hannah is like the reason they're splitting the vote in case Hannah has an idol. So it doesn't make any sense. There's no circumstance where Hannah gets 3 votes.
The way that Greg set up the way that we were going to split votes alarmed me a little bit. I didn't like how he did, you know, just guys vote for one person, girls vote for the other. I wanted to keep it within like tribal lines. I can understand why he'd do that, but also it was a little alarming. So we're getting rid of that plan.
So it's getting close to tribal, and basically we're kind of switching up our plan. They seem well-meaning and they seem sincere, but
it just makes more sense for them to vote one of us out long term than to keep us.
The idea is that if they were going to try and split the votes on us, then the vote would be 2 of us for Hannah, 1 vote Mel, and then maybe like 2 votes me, 2 votes Josh, and then they'd get one of us out on the revote. But so we're thinking if they do that, then we can if we just voted as a unified 3, then we would avoid that and just get one of them out. And I feel pretty nervous generally. Really, this all comes down to Rachel and Greg. It's a Hail Mary. We're just hoping. But I swear to God, if we make it out of this alive, I'll be ecstatic.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully this is not my last confessional, but definitely has a chance of being that way.
God, I don't fucking know. We don't know anything. Yeah. I'm scared because I know I'm gonna see my name, and just like, even though I know it, it doesn't make it feel any better. There's just lots of different moving parts with this vote, and that's why I'm like so curious. And I feel like I'm less naive than I was week 1, because week 1 I was like, I just had no idea. I really thought that the way that I thought things would happen would actually happen. And now I feel like I know that no matter what I think, I will probably be wrong. And at this point, I'm okay with that. So now I'm just curious to see what's actually how it's actually gonna shake out.
Welcome to Tribal Council, guys. How's everyone's weekend? Not bad. Okay. Good. You had a lot of time for this vote, obviously, so I hope that tonight's decision is something that you put a lot of thought into, and I'm really excited to see how it turns out. So with that, let's get started. So, Mel, as part of the strategic tribe, you see someone on your old tribe last week go home with Luke. So I'm looking at this tribe, and I'm thinking there's 3 Shindana, and there's 2 of the other 2 tribes. They have plurality. Are you nervous based on last vote that with Luke going, that they could turn right to you and say, all right, they got Teratibu last week, now let's get Teratibu this week?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I'm very, obviously, it's been most Teratibu gone, but it definitely seems like it could be a trend.
So what would be your pitch then? So why it should be in that case?
I'm a number at this point. I don't have very many people in this game at all, so I'm looking to find trust anywhere.
So Hannah, on that same note then, you're part of the Teratibu tribe as well. And it's a little different story than Mel in that you weren't even at the last challenge. And so do you think it's easy pickings then to just look at you and say, maybe we just vote her out, she didn't help?
Yes, oh yeah, 100%. I have had a target on my back because of Teratibu, and then that not being there also just elevates it, because even though I wasn't there, so I didn't mess anything up, I also could have contributed in that completely. I see a lot of arguments for why I should be out this week.
And so Greg, let's turn to you. Like I said, divided up the 3 blocks here from the outside looking in. You got 3 Shindana and 2 of both Kaidi and Teratibu. Do you think that there's a benefit in having those voting blocks per se, or is it really not that simple as voting in 3-2-2?
I mean, that's how the other tribe seemed to do it, because they voted. I think they split 3-2-2, and so like it makes sense because the numbers are there. But this game isn't that black and white always, and especially because we had that extra week to get to know each other as people before players. You might see different blocks voting together, or maybe it just does say the same as tribes because that's the easiest thing to do because you have past trust with people. It's kind of hard to tell until after the vote's done because you don't know what people put precedent on and what people put priority on, basically.
So then let's get down to let's talk about the vote. Who has heard their name here? Raise your hands. Josh, the lone person was not raising. I saw all four in the back, and then a very reluctant Taylor and David, and then you just sat there. So let's talk about you feel secure tonight.
I don't feel secure, but I haven't put my name. So I mean that's how I answer that question. I never feel secure. You can never really trust anyone in this game. You gotta kind of hope that you talk to the right people up to this point, and hopefully you've been able to convince them that you're an asset for them. Moving forward.
So, Greg, you raised your hand, and I want to jump back to coming into the season. You're a returning player, probably coming with a little bit of a stigma of why are you here? Why is he brought back? Are you raising your hand based off of worry for that stigma still sticking with you, or just because the tribe that you're put on, maybe you might be in the minority?
Probably a little bit of both. I mean, obviously they've got the plurality. There's two here, so we don't I'm personally not sitting in a great spot on paper, and then you throw into that I already stick out no matter what I do because I am a returner. So pretty much any vote that I go to, I expect to hear my name thrown around, and it's not something I'm super surprised by at this point, I guess. My name was thrown out and voted for twice at our first tribal, and I won't be surprised if I see it again this tribal. That's just kind of how it is this season for me.
And Mel, you raised your hand as well. And we talked about kind of the blocks and everything of this vote. And I think one thing that really plays into that is maybe the stigmas that were associated with you guys in the beginning of the game, the labels that we put on. You and Hannah get labeled as the strategists, then Rachel and Greg, the socialites, and then these three up front, the athletes. And do you think that people are considering those labels in the vote that they're making tonight?
I think off the bat that's the start of a conversation. Oh, they're outlast. Must be what their angle is, or outplay. A challenge, it might be harder for them. But you meet the people. You definitely meet the people who are not static, so I don't think that would matter that much. So I don't think that's why someone would say definitively that I should go home.
And Taylor, do you agree with that assessment? Are the labels just kind of washed away at this point? This is just a bunch of people playing Survivor?
I mean, you have to think there's a reason they got that label for whether it's true or not. They did receive it. So, seeing how that plays into their gameplay and their personality and how it fits or doesn't fit, I think still carries through the whole game.
So, David, when Josh talks about these labels that are put onto people, and in Survivor, there's a lot of kinds of threats, right? There are people who are strategic threats. There are social threats. There are athletes, athletic threats, people who are really good at challenges. So, what do you think that people should really consider in making a vote right now at this stage in the game? Which one rings as the highest alert threat right now?
I think right now, what you need to consider is people that are gonna is strategic threats. I think we're not quite at the point yet where physical threats are people you want to take out. I think we still got a couple of challenges ahead. We don't want to come back here. So I think that would be a little premature to start looking at physical threats. I think it's the social and strategic that you probably need to look at more.
Okay. So then, give a little look to Mel up there, one of the strategists up there. So then, he obviously makes a mention of probably one of the four in the back then should be worried that they should be targets, right? So what's your reaction to that?
I think it's naive to not think that we're all in a little bit of danger right now. Just looking at the numbers, and then I think every individual person has their own idea of what the biggest threat is, and maybe it does play into our team delineations. But I also think that people aren't just one thing. You can be athletic, but also be a very social person and be very likable, and then you have to decide if being likable is bad or is it good? And there's so many like irons in the fire, and what you think is like bad for a gameplay, like the person sitting next to you doesn't think is bad. So there's just a lot going on with that.
So with that, unless anyone else has anything to say, we should get ready to vote. So Josh, you're up.
Okay, I really hope this works, but let's see.
Trust.
This is purely strategic and for numbers. Nothing against you. Really like you. I wish I could play with you.
Nothing against you. We just had to figure out what we were gonna do.
Shindana, get the votes. Jeez, cheer up a little bit. All right, in this vote, in the CERN are 7 votes, for I reveal them. If anyone has an immunity idol and you'd like to play it, now would be the time to do so. Okay, once the votes are read, the decision is final. The person voted out will be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately. I'll read the votes. First vote. Hannah. Hannah. It's 2 votes, Hannah. David. It's 2 votes, Hannah. 1 vote, David. David. It's 2 votes, David. 2 votes, Hannah. Hannah. It's 3 votes, Hannah. 2 votes, David. David. That's 3 votes, Hannah. 3 votes, David. 1 vote left. And the 6th person voted out of Survivor Time and Change Urban Legends is David. David, it's 4. Tonight, that is enough. Congratulations on that. David? Excellent. Simple again. You guys look really nice when it's blocks of 2 now. No one's in the plurality. 2 of each tribe. And let me tell you something. That today, we have a challenge. And later today, I hope that these 3 blocks can actually work together, because you guys don't want to be this again later this week. I know that, because some people were blindsided by today's vote. It wasn't obvious. So, with that, I hope that you guys can move together as a strong 6 into tonight's challenge. So take a little bit before that, figure out how you guys want to proceed tonight, all right? Let's grab your stuff, head on that way.
I can't say I'm extremely surprised by this vote. I mean, obviously I would have preferred it goes a different way, but I think we knew that it was going to be 4-3 the whole time. I really hoped that our bonds with Greg and Rachel would have paid off more, but you know, can't change that now. So.
Honestly, this is more of a compliment than anything else. I don't really want to take you out, but you think you're the biggest threat out of the 3. So once we made that decision, that's kind of what I had to go with.
It's been a lot of fun playing this game. Got to meet a lot of people I wouldn't have met otherwise. And just as a lifelong Survivor fan, it's been really cool to see you know, what kind of strategy goes into it, how hard the challenges can be. I guess I'd like to say good luck to Taylor and Josh. I hope they go far. I think I made a couple friends on this journey, and it's been fun.